Jayden, I'm just wondering, this is more big picture. You saw the championship banner go up tonight. As somebody who committed to this program, saw Trent Frazier, DeMonte Williams, what did that mean to you to see that go up, and what do you think about you guys kind of living up to that standard?
It meant a lot to me because that's something that I want to do here. And those guys were all about winning. I watched them play, and they were everyday guys. That's the motto here. So they were all about winning, and I just want to model my game and my life after that. So that meant a lot to me, and it motivated me a lot.
Middle and left.
Dane, the dominance you had tonight, a lot of people said it reminded them of Kofi from the past years. Does a lot of what you do you accredit any of that to watching Kofi and learning from him in the past year?
Yeah, when I first came here, me and Kofi had some tough battles in practice, so I definitely learned a lot from him. But I work hard. I've been working hard all my life, so this is just starting to pay off.
Jayden, after the first game, Brad talked about kind of maybe telling you to be a little more aggressive on offense. What kind of went into that change for you tonight and kind of being more aggressive on the offensive end?
I would just say bringing the energy on defense. That's what got me going. Bringing the energy on defense and just rallying my teammates together to get going. I would say our defense led to offense. So us just playing defense, playing hard, and it just got us all going in the late first quarter, first half, second half.
Andy?
Jayden, I'm curious how you feel about you and Sky both playing together in the same backcourt. It seemed like that lineup really gelled, and I don't know if you've seen the box score. You were plus 35. How did you come in and change the game like that?
I would say, like I said, back to the defense, back to just playing together. I feel like when we move the ball, when we play defense, when we play together, we're just a great team together, and all of us gel together well. So,
Joey?
Yes, Jayden, what's just the biggest difference from getting that first game under your belt to going into game two?
I would say, just like I said, playing with a lot of energy and just getting used to everything and just playing my game, not thinking so much and just playing my game. I feel like my role in this team is just to play hard, play defense, and just to get my teammates involved, just lead the team, be more vocal. And I feel like that's going to get me going every game so I can get my teammates going, we can win.
Derek?
Dane, 5 blocks for you tonight. What goes into you making that? You look even surprised by that. What goes into you making that kind of impact defensively in the paint?
I'm just, that's my job. I try to do whatever it takes to win. Defense was the thing that changed the game for us today. So, energy is what I just wanted to do for the team. Just have energy for the team.
Doug?
Yeah, Dane, you're calling for the ball quite a bit in the post in the second half. Did you feel like there was a point where you had their big guys worn down late in the game?
Yeah, I did. I really did. Our guards do a good job of feeding me in the post, so I really appreciate that from them. But yeah, I definitely wore them down today.
Jeremy?
Dane, you were talking before the season about just how eager you are to get out there and play.
Yeah.
What do these first 2 games do for you as the competition ramps up after having first success in college basketball for you?
This is just the start for me. I try to worry about the present. So for me, it's next game. What can I do tomorrow or tonight that's gonna help me for the next game? So this is past. So I'm on to the next.
Scott?
For both of you guys coming off the bench tonight, did you feel like maybe somebody just needed to come in and bring a spark after a slower start?
I feel like every night not gonna be every one night, so it's just next man up. So some nights it might be my night, some nights it might be Dane night, and it could be anybody night anytime. So if someone's off, someone else got to step up, and that's how our mentality got to be. And then when someone's on, we got to cheer them on. We just got to play together and stay together, and I feel like that's gonna get us over.
Joey?
Yes, Jayden, I know you talked about your role defensively, but what's key for you to find your footing, I guess, on this team offensively? You hit a couple back-to-back threes. What's important for you to kind of know where you fit in that part of the puzzle?
I feel like Coach Underwood, he put all the sets we run and all the things we do, it'll get me going. So just playing throughout the game and not forcing anything, finding my teammates, and just playing in the rhythm. Because once we move the ball, we all get in rhythm. We'll all hit shots. So I just feel like just playing the Illinois way and the things we put in. So I feel like that'll get me going.
Derek and then Tyler.
Jayden, Coach talked after game one about trying to get you to be more aggressive. What was this week in practice like, trying to see that? I know you talked about that a little bit there with your answer, but what's been key for you to find the right times to be in that mode?
Like I said, it was just me just playing our offense and just playing through the game, not forcing anything. And it'll just come to you once you just move the ball, once you just share the ball, and everybody gets going. And like I said, it's a rhythm game. So once you get in the rhythm and once everybody else get in the rhythm, it'll just fall and it'll just be easy. It'll come easy.
This is for Dain. You mentioned wearing those guys out, and you had 16 minutes last on Mondays, 23 tonight. Do you feel after your long period of sitting out that your conditioning is where you want it to be moving forward for more minutes?
Yeah. I give a big shout out to Fletch because when I first got here, I was quite out of shape. But ever since I got here, we've been working really hard, and still to this day, we're doing stuff every day, extra workouts, extra sessions. I'm still doing yoga, so I feel like I can still get in better shape. So I'm just working on that every day. I always look to get better.
And Dan, I mean, for a lot of those rebounds, you're going up and you're high pointing balls over people. You're getting out of area rebounds. Where does the motor you kind of have? Where does that motor kind of come from for you?
Like I said, I try to just bring energy to the team. I want to win. That's the biggest thing for this program. I think it's just winning. It's a winning culture. So, when I step out on the floor, I try to do everything for the team I can win. So I'm really good at rebounding. So every time I step out on the floor, I'm gonna do that.
So at Jayden, we had some of the older players that came back tonight. Any advice that you got from any of those guys heading into this game?
We always keep in contact. Even when they're not here, they always help us out. But I got a lot of advice from Trent. He told me just to always play hard and just to play to win. Don't play to look for your own stats or to look for any individual stuff. Just play to win and just play for your team, and that'll always get you through.
Jeremy?
Dain, what did you learn about watching that team last year? I know you watched the title team the year before and then that team last year. What did you learn watching that team specifically?
Yeah, just like he said, like Jayden said, just winning. When I first got here, me and Kofi, we went at it a lot. Just toughness. That last year's team was very tough. So, I just try to bring that to this team.
What a night. 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 I think most people know, or at least the guys in our locker room or around me know that I coach with passion and I coach with some emotion. And tonight was one of those nights that I don't know how to put it in the right perspective. Just a pretty damn cool evening. To raise a banner, have those guys care enough to fly 13 hours. Trent's getting on a plane tomorrow. He's got practice Sunday. Okay, and Alfonso Plummer here 1 year. Became an all-league player. Played a game in Mexico City last night. Kofi getting ready to go to Japan. We all know, Kofi's legacy. His banner will hang. And, DeMonte Williams been playing in Belgium, had an injury, and getting ready to go back. But for those guys to be here, for that to be their priority, that's why I do it. That's why we do this. We don't do it for any other reason. Unfortunately, you guys got to have something to write about if we win or lose. I got in this 36 years ago for nights like tonight. And to see young people create a memory, 5 years worth, to be honest, for Trent and DeMonte. And the video was incredible. I mean, that's what this shit's all about. Pardon my language. Don't put that in print, please. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. And so really cool night. Then we have to flip it and play a game that started off really ugly. I thought Jayden Epps came in, did a tremendous job of changing our energy. We did not have a great shoot around today. I thought we were a little flat, maybe the distractions, maybe a little complacency. I don't know. I just we weren't very sharp. And then I thought we played, again, almost like we did against Quincy. Just too quick, unselfish, didn't execute. Everything was a 3. We never cracked the seal of their defense because we never passed it enough to do that. Jayden entered, got us going, and then I thought Dain was outstanding. And finally got enough sense to keep. I just ran one little set, just getting him a little duck in the second half, and he was dominant. But he's playing so hard, he's keeping the game so simple that it's amazing how that translates into success. But I told our guys after the game, it's not just about UMKC. It's about the games that you have down the road, and it's about the process and practicing the right way and playing the right way, because you just don't flip a switch. And at some point, you're always going to be at the level of your preparation. And today we didn't prepare very well, mentally. And then I just thought we were a little flat. We got it going. But all in all, I thought Sky Clark was outstanding. I thought Sky did a tremendous job. He had 5 turnovers last game. He had 0 tonight. He had 5 defensive rebounds. I like their 2 guards. UMKC's 2 guards are good, and I thought he stepped up for the most part to the challenge on the defensive side. And we've got some pretty good guards coming at us here in the future. So all in all, we're happy. We got a win. I thought our rebounding effort was not up to standard, but again, we've got to do a better job of preparing, and that's on me.
Starting here with Jeremy.
Brad, building off Trent, DeMonte, those guys had 2 losing seasons, 2 banners now. They set the standard. What's your message to the team now about keeping it?
Yeah, I mean, I made them all today after a shoot-around. They needed to see that. They needed to see what that is, what that moment was, what these rings symbolize. And the fact that the stadium was full, the arena was full, because they came back there to see them. And that's what makes Illinois special. This is, I'm telling you, I'm so blessed to be the basketball coach here and in front of these fans. And they show up, and they're passionate, and they understand. And it's the one thing I can't stand about the transfer portal. Not everybody gets a home anymore, a place you can call home. And those guys do. And I told our team that. And it's a lot of hard work. It was a lot of headaches. Nobody wants to talk about the 2 losing seasons. Every now and then I got to think about those. And reiterate that to our players. So I wanted them to enjoy the moment and understand the moment, because that's what the standard is at this program, and higher. Winning a Big Ten championship, great. That's not our ultimate goal here. My standards are a lot higher than that, and that's why I get coached with passion. That's why I get upset when we don't play the game the right way. But I need our guys to understand that. But it was such an incredible night, and one I'll never forget. Tonight's as memorable for me as the celebration on the court, because of you've had time to reflect, and you see what it means to those guys now, and it's really cool.
Coach, seemed like different lineups gelled a little bit more than others. Is that a work in progress, trying to find that optimal rotation and mix of guys, and especially with the main event coming up pretty quick here in Vegas? Yeah,
I mean, if I could solve it, I would solve it. I'm becoming. It's game experience. There's not just throw the magic dust out there and say this is the lineup that works. And we've got young guys. There's going to be some ups and downs. I don't want the ups and downs to be based on offense. I want it to be based on the the defensive mistakes, the defensive intensity, the rebounding, the execution. Still searching for that. You know, that's the advantage of having a veteran team. You know exactly what you've got. Sincere wasn't as good tonight, you know, and it was reflective of his shoot around. You know, Coleman wasn't as good tonight in terms of making threes, but he got going in the second half. I challenged him at halftime. It's not based on how you shoot the ball. It's based on all the other things that you do. So we're still trying to find that, and Dane's been extremely consistent, so I'm starting to feel pretty good about that one.
Coach, I'd like to go back to Trent. When you got here, Trent had an opportunity to leave, and we were at the press conference, most of us, and he told us he believed in you. And looking back at it, you know, on his career, how important was he to you personally?
Thank goodness I made a recruiting trip when I was at Stephen F. Austin to see him. So I had a little bit of a relationship. He at least knew who I was. I mean, you know, the great thing about this job is not just the successes, but it's all the they come here as little boys and they leave as men, and it's all the ups and downs and the crap you have to go through to help them and guide them, and it's the nonsense sometimes that 18-year-olds make. But you grow through all that, and that's why we do this. I'm just a teacher, and you know, basketball is a tool, but to help them teach. But you know, I have so much respect for Trent because of his passion and his love for what he does, and you know, that's easy to fall in love with as a coach. And you know, I think he made a pretty good decision staying. You know, at the end of the day, I think he's beloved here for a lifetime.
Coach Dain dropped the names yesterday, Olajuwon and Duncan, as guys he watches on film in the post. What do you make of his skill set down there and just how smooth everything comes for him?
Wow. It's a good thing I'm not on social media and didn't read that. Dane's really skilled. There's not much Dain can't do. He's right hand, left hand. Where we have to help Dain is by simplifying. Not trying to do things too much. When Dain gets in trouble, he tries to overhandle and spin all the time. You know, he can play out on the floor because he can really handle it. But I love the fact he watches those guys because he is that. He's kind of the dancing bear. You know, he's got great feet. He's light on his feet. He's got great length. You know, he's 265 pounds. I mean, when he hits you, you know it. And the thing I've been impressed with is just his tenacity on the glass, and that's been very, very consistent. And you know, he's a ton. He's a ton. I mean, he was really good last year. Kofi had problems with him on the scout team. You know, just because you can't guard one shoulder, he can go either way. So. I hope he continues to watch him, and you know, hopefully before this is all over, he's puts himself in that category or close.
Brad,
Coach, you touched on Coleman a little bit. You know, showing that maturity that maybe he didn't show a year ago. Tonight, RJ again didn't shoot the ball well, but his body language is better than it was Monday, and it seemed like he played a little harder. Yeah,
you noticed that?
So
right.
is that the maturation process? Are we seeing that right in front of us?
Sure. Absolutely. And what they don't understand is that people see that. You know, they see a bad body language, or they see a frustration or a challenging moment and their reaction to that. And, you know, it's where Io excelled. Just next play. Bad call, next play. You know, and RJ, you know, he was pressing. You know, he's had days in practice where he hasn't missed a shot for 3 or 4 practices straight, and all of a sudden it didn't go in, and it's not about that for him. You know, it's simplifying. It's going to rebound. You know, he was an offensive rebound juggernaut last year. You know, it's taking pride in guard, and the game will find you. And with him, it's just maturation. He's going through a tough spell, and did some good things tonight, and was better.
And then with I mean, with Jayden after the first game, you told him to be a little more aggressive in the offensive end. When he's able to pick his spots like he does tonight, how much extra does that kind of give you?
Well, I'm going to make him the other team's best guard every single day on the scout team because he was terrific yesterday and today. We couldn't guard him. And I think that maybe gave him a little bit of confidence to just go play. And yeah, you know, Jayden works really hard to try to do the right thing and please everybody. And sometimes you just, that can get in your way. And we don't want him to lose his aggressiveness and his assertiveness, and we saw that tonight.
Was it sort of an interesting juxtaposition to celebrate last year's team, have those guys back, and then go out and play an entirely different style of basketball?
I haven't thought about it. That's probably way too complicated for my simple mind, but it was that's like senior night sometimes. Like they're hard. They're just emotionally, and then you know we have to play with energy and emotion, and that's why Sincere's had so much success in our first two or three is his energy. I didn't think we had that, and maybe you set for a long time, you go through the ceremony, rush through a quick scouting report in the locker room in about a minute and a half, and there you are back out there, and we hardly had time to warm up again. So those moments are challenging, but yeah, we are different. I hadn't thought about it too much, but I tried to get back to last year and just throw the ball to Dain like I did to Kofi.
Joey?
Brad, another game that Matt didn't play quite a long stretch in the second half to close. Is there like a minute count for him? Is there anything going on with that, or? No,
he needs to guard. He needs to guard, and you know it's when I'm finding a group that's playing well together, I'm staying with it. I'm not trying to be over creative. And Matt's going to be fine. Matt is really talented, guys. I'm just telling you, and he's got to you know he's finding his way. You know, it's a different system, one he was not a part of for 4 years. And, you know, it's just taking him a little bit, and he's going to be really, really a good player for us as we move forward because he's really talented.
Doug?
Coach, big differential between threes in the first half and the second half. I think only 7 3-point attempts in the second half. Was that because they're not going in, or is that a playing style thing where you want them more in attack mode?
Well, I thought Dain got pretty good shots, so we were going to throw the ball to him a whole bunch. And I just told our team, I said, we literally ran the same play every trip. And we just played off the 2 or 3 different options off of it. Most of them were to Dain, and, you know, it wasn't overly complicated. And it's amazing when you simplify the game sometimes. The shots we did get from 3, I thought were good ones. And we just have to learn that a 3 contested with 20 on the shot clock's a really bad shot, and we took a lot of those. I think we're trying to get by that.
Derek?
The first half, you seem to give the guys a lot of freedom offensively. How are you working through trying to make sure it's not too structured and constrained versus letting them create?
Yeah, and again, I think it goes back a little bit to what Doug said. You know, we've got to find that mix. We never cracked their defense in the first half. I mean, it was once it was 5-on-5, it was, and we haven't not done that in any game, including our secret scrimmage against a really good team. We cracked it, and but we just got impatient. And I mean, the ball never got below the free throw line, and so pointed effort is then I'm going to call some actions to do that, and. Then Dain just got going, and we've got to find him, and we got to maximize his minutes when he's on the court.
Jeremy?
Brad, Bruce Weber's here, got a standing ovation from the crowd. What's your relationship like with him? What was that like for you to see a guy who had success and then not get that kind of reaction from the crowd?
Well, he should. My goodness, what he did here was remarkable. I mean, he's a heck of a ball coach. He did an unbelievable job at my alma mater. One that I'm extremely proud and invested in terms of sweat equity. You know, I always followed him. I've got tremendous respect for his success at every stop he's made, and you know, to have him back in the Big Ten is a great thing. I think he's extremely knowledgeable. I haven't heard him yet on TV, but you know, they're not going to find anybody any more knowledgeable than him, and. my goodness, I mean, what he did here is really elite, and it's something I'm chasing. I want to win the last one though, and but it's pretty cool that, and again, it's what makes this job great is our fans, our people, and I'm happy for Bruce to be back. He got to go through Ubben today, and great human being who's a terrific coach.
Tyler?
Yeah. Coach, in talking about the shot selection again, it's only been 2 games, but your average possession length is like 14 seconds. That's down like 4 seconds from last year. Is that too quick, or is that, you've talked about scoring 7 seconds and fast, or is it kind of, again, trying to strike that balance?
No, I'm not as worried about that. I'm worried about the under 7 seconds being that we get out and run. I don't know what our numbers were. There were 21 points under 7 seconds the other night in the Eastern game. Those I'm all for it. We know, threes, layups, or free throws. And but what I am discouraged by and frustrated with is then that next round. I don't want guys turning down shots. I don't tell guys to not take shots. We've got to grow together so we take the right shot. And sometimes the next pass is a better shot than the one that I have, and that's, we're still feeling our way through that, and so I'm not as worried about that as I am, a few other things, but we'll get that handled.
Finish up with Joey.
Just have one more about Trent. Did you know that video? I'm guessing you did. That video was coming, and I guess what was the importance of giving him his own moment like that here before he goes back overseas?
I know it was coming. I saw it yesterday. I wish I hadn't. Damn, Joey sent it to me. So I watched it last night with my wife, and that was a 10-minute tearjerker for her. But I wanted him to have his moment because I'm not sure his jersey's going up there. And that's the truth. Pretty special young man in my book, and a great player who's probably come as far from the start to the finish maybe as any player I've been around. We want to bring up the Eastern and the tiers to one of the all-time greats here. And they read off all of his records. I don't even know him, but he needed that moment. And I think our fans needed to know what that cat's all about. And ultimate winner. See you guys soon.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.